I'll take a whole chicken. You got that? I usually tuck the wing over when I'm demoing because that stabilizes the chicken. Now, this is very important because you need to know how to cut the chicken for the ACF test. What I recommend is that you find the center bone here. Keep your knife right in the center. Find that bone. Keep your knife right beside it. Just expose it. Don't try to go ahead and cut the whole thing until you know where you're going. I expose that. And then right at the top, where the keel bone is, I make a cut. Get this skin out of my way. I finish expose that. And one of the first things I'm trying to do is find out where that keel bone is, and it's right in here. So I'm going to get that out. Call it funny bone or whatever. We're going to get that out, okay? Make sure that you reserve any meat that you can use for stir fry or get rid of any fat that you're not using. Once I expose the meat, I'm going to keep cutting all the way down. Notice I'm cleaning the bone, the carcass, as I go down. On both sides. If you're in competition, you will get counted off points if you do not clean the carcass. You got to clean the carcass. Don't leave any meat on it. Very, very low. I mean, you should clean it as much as possible. When you get the breast cut down, you got to get a clean pan here. Right there. It's right there. Just don't turn it on until I tell you. All right, so can you see that? All right, see how I got the breast laying down? All right. All right, what I'm going to do is take the point of my knife, and I'm looking for the joint where the wing, where the drum head is, and I'm going to cut right in there. So see, I cut right in that where that joint was. You all right? All right, so I disconnected that right there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. How's everything in the kitchen, Tim? Everything all right? All right, so I disconnected it on the other side. See how that looks? All right. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to bend the legs back like that. The reason I do that is because I want to separate this breast from the leg. So I want to see where that extra skin is. Because I want that skin. I don't want to cut it off. I want it. All right? So now I can free this. And see the chicken is laying flat. The carcass is up. Free that. Okay, I got the legs, I got the carcass. I can turn this around if I want and do it this way. Might be easier. The same thing applies. I'm getting in the joint. Okay, so I cut both joints off. I got a carcass. I'm going to go in here and look for meat that I can get off of this carcass. Take that off. Same thing on the other side. You have to do that. It's not rather they allow you to do it. You have to do it. You have to do that. You have to do that. Okay? You have to take off as much of the meat as possible off of the carcass. If you do not, then they'll think that you're not a good manager of your establishment because you're wasting product. Okay? That meat can be used for stir fries. Okay? So clean the carcass. No, they're not telling you to leave it on there on purpose so you could go back and trim it off. Your skill is in the way you clean the carcass the first time. Then you go back and you get the leftover trimmings. Okay, so this is ready for stock pot. You're going to trim that fat off of there because we can't use that fat in the stock pot. We know that. More oil, you don't need that. And then color comes out because you know some chicken, they have coloring in the skin. So you want to take all that stuff out of there. All right. You got, on the ACF test, it tells you need 2 drumsticks, 2 thighs, 1 wing, 1 chicken breast supreme, and 1 French or airline chicken breast. All right, so again, I'm going to cut in the joint here to separate my drum. Notice I'm not hacking at the chicken or anything like that. You can get a feel for it. It's probably best to turn it over and just feel it, feel right where the joint is. Just cut right in there. So I got my 2 drums. I got my 2 thighs here. Now I'm going to work on my chicken breast supreme. I already know I'm going to do a supreme, so I cut the wing off. Try to cut it in the joint. That's my 1 wing that I'm required to have right there. Put that aside. I'm going to take the tenderloin out. It said skinless, so I'm going to take the skin off. It said skinless, boneless breast. So I'm going to take the skin off. I'm going to trim the chicken up. Okay. Make sure it's boneless. And that's what I have. Okay? So that's a boneless, skinless breast of chicken supreme. That's what they call supreme. Now, supreme could also have the skin on it, too. It's an option. Depends on what kind of effect you want your final plate to look like. Okay? So that's optional. You can also take this and pound it slightly if you want to flatten it out a little bit. But you don't ruin the integrity of the meat by pounding it to death and killing it. Okay? So that's my supreme. Now I want to work on my French. I'm going to take my tenderloin out. This time I'm going to leave the skin on. And I know I'm doing a French breast, so I'm going to take the second joint. I'm going to cut this at the second joint. I'm not required to have this in my mix here, so I'm going to put that to the side. Make sure you trim all the extra fat and items that you're not using, trim that off. Make sure you show them your usable product and understand what you're going to use it for. All right, to start off getting the French chicken breasts,